Cape Verde, an archipelago of volcanic islands scattered across the Atlantic Ocean, is a nation forged in the crucible of cultural fusion. Unlike many nations with diverse populations, Cape Verde's story isn't one of neatly separated cultures coexisting. Instead, it's a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of African and European heritage, creating a unique and distinct social fabric. Its people, predominantly of African and Portuguese descent, embody this blending, reflecting a history marked by both oppression and resilience. The islands, once uninhabited, became a melting pot of cultures following Portuguese arrival in the 15th century. This encounter, like many colonial interactions, was marked by the exploitation of African people and their forced migration across the Atlantic. Yet from this painful past emerged a new cultural identity, one that refused to be defined solely by the trauma of enslavement. Cape Verde's story is a testament to the enduring spirit of its people. It's a story of adaptation, of finding strength and forging a distinct identity in the face of adversity. It's a story etched in the faces of its people, echoed in their music, and celebrated in their traditions. This is the story of Cape Verde, a nation where Africa and Europe meet, not in a collision of cultures, but in a harmonious blend that speaks to the resilience of the human spirit.
The arrival of Portuguese explorers in the 15th century marked a turning point in Cape Verde's history. The islands quickly became a strategic outpost for Portugal's maritime empire. Yet this newfound importance came at a steep price. The transatlantic slave trade relied on a brutal system. Millions were forcibly transported to Cape Verde and other parts of the Portuguese Empire. This period had a profound impact on Cape Verde's demographic and cultural landscape.
The influx of enslaved Africans created a melting pot of cultures. Over time, a new cultural identity emerged, blending African and European influences. The cultural landscape of Cape Verde is a testament to the resilience of its people. From the forced convergence of African and European traditions emerged a distinct and vibrant cultural identity. This fusion, however, was not a passive process. It was a conscious act of survival, a way for enslaved Africans to hold on to fragments of their heritage while adapting to a new and often hostile environment. Music, for instance, became a powerful tool of expression and cultural preservation. Traditional West African rhythms and melodies intertwined with Portuguese musical forms, giving rise to genres like funana and morna. These musical styles became outlets for storytelling, expressions of sorrow and joy, and subtle forms of resistance against the oppressive system of slavery. Language, too, underwent a fascinating transformation. From the interaction of Portuguese with various West African languages emerged Crioulo, a Portuguese-based Creole language. Crioulo became the lingua franca, a unifying tongue that transcended the ethnic and social divisions imposed by the colonial system. This cultural fusion extended to other aspects of life as well, from cuisine to religious practices. Cape Verdean cuisine, for example, reflects the blending of African staples like corn and beans with Portuguese ingredients and cooking techniques. Similarly, religious syncretism, the fusion of different religious beliefs, became commonplace, with elements of West African spirituality merging with Catholicism. The legacy of Cape Verde's history is etched in the faces of its people. The majority of Cape Verdeans identify as Creole or mulatto, a testament to the generations of intermixing between people of African and European descent. This ethnic fluidity, however, is not merely a matter of genetics. It's a reflection of a shared cultural identity, one that embraces the complexities of its past. Unlike many post-colonial societies where racial categories are rigidly defined, Cape Verdean society exhibits a greater degree of fluidity. This is not to say that prejudice or discrimination are absent. However, the notion of a singular, fixed racial identity is less pronounced, replaced instead by an acknowledgement of the diverse heritage that shapes Cape Verdean identity. This complex history of intermixing has also led to a rich tapestry of physical appearances within the population. From individuals with predominantly African features to those with a more European complexion, Cape Verdeans represent a spectrum of phenotypes. This diversity, however, is not a source of division but rather a celebration of the nation's unique heritage. The Cape Verdean identity, therefore, cannot be neatly categorized. It is a fluid concept, constantly evolving and embracing the multiplicity of experiences that have shaped its people. It's a reminder that identity is not solely determined by lineage, but also by shared history, culture, and the enduring spirit of resilience.